today. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if this isn't your first time, thank you so much for returning. So, if you guys are not up to date, I did my last video on my hair dye, and it has been 2 months since that time, and I have had some growth since then, but let me tell you, this color was not planned. Okay, I did not mean to get this blondish color. It was very new for me, but this video is kind of going to focus more on the before I did this hair dye. I have dyed my hair multiple times before, and I have had like a little hair dye journey, and it kind of explains why my hair came out the way that it did. My hair dye journey began in 2017. That is when I started with my trial and error phase. I was too scared to dye my whole head. I was like, well, let me just try doing half of it, see how my hair responds to it. That year, I had kind of really started playing in my hair a little bit more, trying to figure it out, doing a lot more styles, trying a lot more twist outs, experimenting with wash and goes, and I was kind of starting to get into form.
Oh, I'm starting to really come into form. Uh-huh.
So I was like, let me add some color to it. I was really interested in, trying to see how my hair was going to react. This had been my first time using any type of dye. I was very nervous, it was very nerve-wracking to kind of be like, ooh, what kind of color is this going to give me? It's going to give me the color I'm looking for. Is it going to just damage my hair and break it all off? So this is my first time experimenting. And that year I chose the Cream of Nature Exotic Shine Color line, and I used the color Bronze Copper. I was thinking, oh, it's going to give me that reddish, like, fall color I was looking for. And I just decided to do just my tips because I did not want to do my whole head. At the time, I was a little nervous about doing my whole head because I was like, if this goes wrong, I have to cut off all my hair. I'd rather cut off half of it than all of it. This was an at-home color. So I was even more nervous because it was like we didn't fully know what we were doing. So me and my best friend were in my kitchen. We did that hair color. And y'all, finished with that color, right? And you could barely see that I had dyed my hair. I mean, my hair basically didn't lift. The only type of color you could see was possibly being in the sun for a little bit. It was like I had never did anything. And I was just like really upset and really disappointed because I was like really excited in the beginning. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this red and this is gonna be this and that. No. It did not work. So I continued to just do my hair and kind of work with the color that I had. But I started to notice that, those ends started to get really dry. They started to break off a lot. And, my hair was just not feeling the way that it was before. Throughout those few months of having that hair color and, still doing the same type of thing that I was doing before, but not really giving extra care to chemically processed hair, my hair started to fall out. And my tips weren't as good, my twist outs weren't as good, and I had to cut it out. I wanted to start over and cut them off because my hair was not growing, it's breaking off, and I didn't want it to damage the healthy hair that I still had. So I cut it off, and I basically had to go back to square one. After about a year or so, I, got a new regimen and kind of focused on my hair a lot more and kind of got it back to the length I wanted. And of course, got it back to where I wanted it to be, right? Got way more comfortable with my hair. And now I'm sitting here like, So what can I do now? I wanted to dye it again. I wanted to try it one more time, and I wanted to get that red color. In my research, just typing in all types of words, fall colors, red colors, natural hair dyes without damage. I mean, just typing it all. I was watching so many on the Cream of Nature because I was really interested in using their hair color again. I remember like seeing new ads for their hair colors, and a lot of YouTubers were sampling their colors and everything, and it was really, really cool. So I was like, those colors are kind of what I'm looking for. So I started really, really looking into Cream of Nature heavily with their new natural hair colors. Now, I ended up one day scrolling past a hair YouTuber that I follow. Her name is Jazz's Colored Curls. She had posted on Instagram about her new color, and I was like, oh, her color was so fire. It was like literally the color that she had was exactly what I wanted. So I watched her video and saw what she used, and I was hooked. So this color that I have been using is not my original idea. It came from Jazz's Colored Curls, and that's when she used the Cream of Nature's Vivid Red and Light Golden Blonde and mixed those two together to create more of like this copperish red color. I fell in love with it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do everything that she did, and I'm going to get the same color that she has. Okay, super motivated because I had found the color that I wanted. I felt comfortable with using Cream of Nature, and I was like, my hair is good. I'm in a good spot to do this. Let's just do it. So in June of 2018, I used the Cream of Nature Vivid Red and the Light Golden Blonde, and I did the same thing that she did in that color, which was not using the High Lift Booster. So I did not use the High Lift Booster that first time. I did get a good red, okay? Woohoo! Like, see the red, it came out way better than it did the first time, and I had did my entire head this time. I was like, ooh, this is new, this is different. I was really excited about it. It wasn't as bright as I really, really wanted it, but it was still a good color. You could still see it, and I absolutely loved it. So I was still going for that bright red, still trying to chase that bright red, okay? And now, mind you, this is only my second time dyeing my hair, and this was only my first successful time doing it. So I don't know who I thought I was and why I thought this was the greatest idea in the world, but I was graduating that year, and I wanted to make my hair a lot brighter for my senior pictures. 4 months later, in October of 2018. I dyed my hair again, okay? I was still new to the game, not true to the game yet. I redid the same colors, did the same method, did not use that High Lift Booster, the same colors, Vivid Red and the Light Golden Blonde, and I got this much brighter, vibrant red. At first, like when I had first done it and I was dyeing it, and I was like, oh, so this is red. This is red, this is red. And that's the red that I got. And I was just like, oh my goodness. I knew this was the red I was looking for, but I didn't know this was the red I was looking for. And I had gotten this really nice vibrant red, and when I tell y'all, I fell in love with that color. I love that color. And I took my senior pictures in it, and after that, I was just feeling so good. Oh, that red was like my later. Exactly a year later, in October of 2019, I did a semi-permanent color. I used Adore. I used 3 different colors. I was trying to get like this bright red color back, you know, that vibrance, that pop of color. So I used Cajun Spice, French Cognac, and I used Paprika. Now, I had been doing a lot of research on the Adore color too before I did it because I kind of wanted something new, but something that wasn't like too much. So I did a lot of research on it, and a lot of girls, you know, that had my hair type, I was looking at to see how the color was taken to their hair because a lot of my hair had grown out, so it went back to the brown color. Most of my hair wasn't red at that time. So I'm like, okay, let me see what this is going to do for me, y'all. It was not okay. It was not okay. I did that Adore color, and literally it was flaking off. I mean, I had washed it after I had done the color, like after I had processed the color and everything. The color just kept coming off. Like it didn't take to my hair at all. It started flaking, and whatever I had like washed out like every single day I was doing it, it just would flake off the color. Like the color was just flaking off of my hair. Even when I touched it, it would just fall off. And I was just like, oh no. So after that complete failure, I was itching for this red color again. I wanted it back and I wanted it to look as bright as it did before. So that's when I came up with the idea to do the same colors again, but to do the high lift booster this time. Now, mind you, when I did this hair, my tips were already dyed, and that was from the processing of those past 2 colors that I did. So it's been about 2 years since I did any type of actual permanent hair color. This is not counting that Adore color that was in between, but I was going for that red, and I was thinking the high lift booster was going to lift my virgin hair. Okay, that was the plan. When I saw my hair and I had that blonde, I was like, oh my goodness. I really didn't think that it was going to do this. I just failed to realize that the lifting and dyeing is a process to it, and I just did it in 1 step, and it probably should have been 2. That is why my hair became this bright blonde and with that little bit of red, okay? I know in my last video, if you watched it, or if you watched my part, I said, yes, there's no red to be found, okay? You can see some of the red. It is an undertone, definitely an undertone. If you look closely, there is a little bit of red, and you can see it only in the sun, but most of my hair is just blonde. And in the sun, it honestly looks a little bit orange. But let me tell you, I absolutely love it, and I would not trade it at all. So I do want to mention that Cream of Nature actually has 2 different hair box dye color lines, okay? One is the Exotic Shine, and that is the first one I use with the Bronze Copper, and the current one that I have used is the Moisture Rich with the Vivid Red and the Light Golden Blonde. Don't get those 2 confused, and make sure that you are getting the line that you like to use. So with that little story and that hair dye journey that I have had, it brought me to this. So this is the new color. This is what we're working with now. I plan on doing so many different new styles and trying so many different new things because I am still new to all of this myself. I am not a pro at it at all, but this is what this channel is for. I want you guys to feel as comfortable with all the ups and downs that you're going to have, because I've had my uncomfortable times as well, and I want to share them with you because you are not alone in it, okay? So be sure to keep doing your hair, loving on it, and making sure you are staying up to date with what's going on here on my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.